This is Bangladesh, where 165 million people, more than the population of Russia, live in an area the size of Russia's Vologda region. This makes Bangladesh one of the most densely populated countries in the world. With 1,200 people per square kilometer, the population density is nearly 3 times that of neighboring India. It's me again, Kiwin Insights, where I share my personal views and analysis of the global situation. I'd love to discuss with you in the comments section. Now, let's continue. Yes, India, with a population that looks like this, not only has too many people, Bangladesh also has trash and noise levels that exceed pickleball. It ranks as one of the top 5 most polluted countries in the world, and its GDP per capita is lagging behind countries like India, Morocco, and Laos. But those numbers have to be looked up. The first impression of anyone who sets foot in Bangladesh is that this place is dirty, unbearably dirty. The river water is black. Garbage is everywhere. It looks like it's flying straight out of the windows onto the street, and ships from all over the world come here to rest. It's beyond pickleball. How dirty it is and why? Let's find out in today's video. But first, let me tell you a little about this country. Here is an interesting fact. Bangladesh is a relatively new country on the world map. It has only been around since 1971, but it belongs to one of the oldest civilizations of mankind. Bangladesh separated from India in 1947 for religious reasons and then separated from Pakistan in 1971 for linguistic and cultural reasons. Today, Bangladesh is the 8th largest country in the world in terms of population. In terms of area, it is the 92nd largest. In terms of road length, it is the 20th largest in the world. Bangladesh has 2,500 kilometers of railways, but that is not enough for 165 million people. So people mainly travel by bus or car to get around. But traffic rules are not important here. You can go the wrong way and park wherever you want. They have a lot of cyclos, they go at a snail's pace. The streets themselves don't have any traffic lights or signs, so everyone participates in traffic with the motto that whoever is faster goes first. So don't ask why the roads are always jammed. The buses here look like they were built in the time of Napoleon. There was no need to brake. Passengers got on and off the bus very skillfully. No one could move. But why did people keep honking their horns continuously? After all, no one could move anyway. Now we will enter the streets. You will see cables hanging overhead. Lots of people and trash. Trash everywhere, hanging from electric wires as if people just threw them out of their windows. And here let me introduce Venice of Bangladesh. Let your soul be carried away by the marble-colored water and the intoxicating scent that can be found nowhere else. At the Hakka, it is estimated that 350 tons of waste are dumped into the river every day. The river is no longer alive. Even fish cannot survive here. According to scientists, there is no oxygen in the water. From the boat, you can admire the garbage installations covering the riverbank. They are here quietly, seeping into the ground and the river. Taking advantage of the lack of fish, people feel secure using this water to wash dishes, swim, and bathe. What a poetic scene. There, people perform mermaid shows. They dive into the water to collect scrap metal. At the end of the river tour, you can go ashore to buy local vegetable specialties. And here is another market. Located near the railway tracks, this fish market has a separate area at the end for cleaning fish. Life goes on not only in the market, but also on the railway line that leads to the market. Occasionally a train passes by, but everything goes on as normal. That's because these people have learned how to survive on the tracks. If a train is coming, they can feel it. And just before the train arrives, all the furniture is carried away. Once the train has passed, they return to occupy the tracks. This is the place for those who did not get a place in the market. People also sell fish and many other miscellaneous items. Look at this scene. The barrier is down, but people are still walking leisurely on the tracks. They just run at the last minute. If put in a survival game, Bangladeshis would probably win. Because the weak have been naturally selected on the tracks. Only the strongest and most skilled survive. Those who cannot afford to join the game, such as children and the elderly, can go pick up scrap. Whenever a garbage truck comes to dump the trash, this army is as happy as if they had found gold. Children who do not go to school are still eagerly groping in the garbage. After all, without money for education, this country is really poor. According to various estimates, the average income of a Bangladeshi does not exceed $250 a month. That means if we only consider GDP, Bangladesh is even bigger than the Philippines, Vietnam, and Denmark. However, they are also more populous than the other three countries. Remember that Bangladesh has a very cheap labor force. One can engage in labor-intensive businesses here, such as tailoring or taking ships apart. From all over the world, giant, obsolete cargo ships are brought to Chittagong docks. Here, the ships, which look like beached whales, are broken up for scrap metal. Thousands of people work in these shipyards without protective gear, and injuries and poisoning are commonplace. But they have little choice. They are willing to do any job to make ends meet. The scene was magnificent, yet terrifying. Huge chunks of the ship were falling into the sea, breaking apart from the inside. Sooner or later, someone was going to get into an accident. All this risk is worth between $5 and $7 a day. That means if they work for a month without a day off, they can earn $150 to $200. But because this job doesn't require much, there are still many people who come here. Nothing is automated. Workers just need sophisticated tools the size of clotheslines to do their job. After all, this is the sea. Let's go find the fishermen. But then again, there's nothing to see. A small, poor, dry fishing village with people catching crabs and fish from the muddy lakes left by the tide. In addition to boats and seafood, the sea also brings salt to workers. From the salt boats, workers carry baskets of salt to the warehouse. Workers stand in the salt hills, doing everything by hand. Salt is packed in 50-kilogram sacks. I believe that carrying such heavy sacks on your head is not good for your health. But in Bangladesh, it is like 1,000 years ago. No machines, simply because human power is the cheapest. But at least get a look at the city. Chittagong is the second largest city in Bangladesh with a population of about 10 million. Buses, rickshaws, cyclos, motorbikes. The roads here are there for show because no one cares. Everyone is so mean, I don't even know what they're for. Even though it is the second largest city, it takes 7 hours by train to get to the capital Dhaka. The reason is because the train is very slow, very dirty. It looks like they never wash the cars. This must be a VIP cabin because it has cushioned seats. After walking through the two largest cities of Bangladesh, you will wonder why this country is so run down and dirty. The first big reason you must have realized is that this country is too crowded and urbanized too quickly. Think back to the history of Bangladesh. After independence in 1971, the country's economy struggled. This led to its first population growth. Poverty can lead to high birth rates because many people do not have access to family planning information. Also, if you live below the poverty line, more children means more free labor. Not only that, looking at the reason why Bangladesh separated from India, you can easily see that there is a significant Muslim community here, making up 90% of the population. In Muslim culture, the family is central, and at the heart of the family is the mother or the bearer of children. Children are sacred, so large families are highly valued. At its peak in 1980, the average birth rate in Bangladesh was 5 to 6 children per woman. In recent years, the rate has slowed, but Bangladesh has never had a limited number of children. But to understand the reason behind Bangladesh's large population, we have to go down this way. The world's second largest river delta, the Ganges, lies between Bangladesh and India. About 135 million people live in this delta, and at least 300 million depend on it for agriculture. You know, agriculture is a very labor-intensive industry. So to make a living from farming, they need as many people as possible, which means having as many children as possible. From the early 1970s to the early 1990s, Bangladesh's population grew at a steady rate of about 2% per year. Coincidentally, this rate was almost the same as the rate of urbanization in Bangladesh. As more and more people flock to the cities, the population continues to grow, unlike many large cities in other countries. This shows how cultural and religious factors play a major role. While the majority of the population remains farmers, those who have urbanized contribute to the huge garment industry that has become Bangladesh's most important export. But along with textiles, leather and chemical factories often release pollutants into the air and water. In addition, the haphazard traffic, many of which are old and poorly maintained, also aggravates air and noise pollution. Both factors, combined with poor waste management, led to a situation where rubbish accumulates on the streets and waterways, contributing to environmental pollution. Already dark and hairy. Bangladesh, a low-lying country, will face serious challenges from climate change, making pollution worse. In August 2024, after a wave of riots, Prime Minister Hashida, the Iron Lady who led Bangladesh for 15 years, had to resign and flee abroad. The situation in Bangladesh has calmed down only temporarily after a new interim head of government was appointed. However, the future of the South Asian country remains uncertain. There are still many risks of further instability. Do you think they can improve the pollution situation? Share your insights with me in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the next video. Now, bye, and see you.